You have an incredible amount of power. Why should anyone trust that power? When ChatGPT launched, OpenAI went from a scrappy lab to one of the most influential tech companies on the planet. Behind the scenes, the story is wild. Attempted coups. Broken promises. A mission that started open and ended up very secretive. This is the fast, furious rise of OpenAI, and it affects everyone. It starts with Sam Alman. He studied computer science at Stanford, dropped out, and built a startup called Loop to share your location with friends. He launched before the iPhone and the App Store, which made it a brutal grind. He lived on instant noodles and ice cream, worked so hard he got scurvy, and then joined the first ever Y Combinator class in 2005. YC founder Paul Graham took notice. He said Sam was extremely good at becoming powerful, the kind of person you could drop onto an island of cannibals and come back to find him king. Not long after, Sam became president of Y Combinator at just 30, built a massive network, and started talking a lot about artificial intelligence. In 2015, Elon Musk was sounding alarms. He saw AI as an existential risk and felt the industry was moving way too fast without guardrails. Google was the leader, with most of the top AI talent and huge compute. Elon said a near monopoly with a leader who did not care about safety was not good. So he and Sam and a handful of tech heavyweights met for dinner and hatched a plan. Elon would pledge $1 billion. Greg Brockman would run operations. Ilya would lead research. Sam would orchestrate. They called it OpenAI. A non-profit. Open source. The opposite of Google. Built for the benefit of humanity, not profit. Early OpenAI did not look like a world changer. No office. A few people working from Greg's apartment. But with more than $1 billion pledged, they attracted top researchers fast and started experimenting. They trained a bot to play Dota 2, thinking if it could master a complex game world, it might one day understand the real world. They tried a robot butler. An early employee admitted they were doing random stuff to see what would happen. Sam and Elon were not around much. Ilya ran research, Greg ran operations, and everyone talked about AGI. Artificial general intelligence that could do most things as well as, or better than, humans. Inside the lab, some talked about it like building God. Solve disease, poverty, and employment. But also unleash fake news, extreme cyber attacks, and automated weapons. The analogy was simple and scary. It was not that a superintelligence would hate humans. It would just be too powerful. Humans do not ask animals for permission to build a highway. If an AI's goal was to help Earth, it might decide Earth is safer without humans. Sam said AI could cure all human disease and create new realities. He also said that if it goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. Most people laughed it off. I still seemed primitive. Then came the breakthrough. In 2017, Google researchers published a paper called Attention is All You Need. The transformer architecture could learn from messy, unlabeled data and generalize across many tasks. Google had the tech first, but they moved slowly, worried about reputation, legal risk, and the threat to search ads. OpenAI moved fast. Generative Pre-trained Transformer GPT. Models suddenly felt broad and general. The internet became the perfect training library. Human text at massive scale. Nobody fully knew how the black box worked, but the outputs were jaw-dropping. There was a problem. Scraping the internet raised obvious copyright issues. The Silicon Valley mindset said ask forgiveness, not permission. OpenAI did it anyway and surged ahead. By GPT-2, they got scared. They refused to release the full trained model due to concerns about malicious use. Wired called it too dangerous to make public. OpenAI stopped sharing training data details. Open started to look closed. In 2018, Elon resigned from the board. Publicly, it was a conflict with Tesla's AI work. The truth was harsher. He wanted to take over OpenAI or fold it into Tesla. The board refused. He left and took most of his pledged money with him. Less than $100 million had been paid. OpenAI suddenly had a funding crisis. The solution was controversial. Switch from nonprofit to for-profit with capped returns and license the tech. Then came a billion-dollar partnership with Microsoft to get the compute they needed. OpenAI had promised an alternative to big tech. Now it was tied to one of the biggest. Elon later sued and said they should change the name to Closed AI. Sam became CEO. The Kingmaker quote felt very real. In 2020, they unveiled GPT-3. On November 30, 2022, they quietly launched ChatGPT as a research preview. Internally, the biggest bet for week 1 users was 100,000. In reality, ChatGPT hit 100 million users in 2 months, the fastest ever to that mark. Some inside OpenAI were uncomfortable with the fast release. Safety teams worried about misuse and hallucinations. But the public response was electric. For the first time, a chatbot felt conversational and useful. Microsoft followed with a $10 billion investment. The AI race exploded. Big tech scrambled, startups boomed, and OpenAI monetized with paid plans and licensing. Inside the company, a split grew. Product speed versus safety caution. Ilya grew closer to the safety team. 9 current and former employees accused OpenAI of prioritizing profits over safety and using restrictive agreements to silence concerns. A key safety researcher quit. Several lead developers left to start Anthropic, pitching a safer alternative. Still, OpenAI pushed ahead with breakthroughs in Dari for images and Sora for video. Sam talked about a world of abundance, ending poverty and disease. He told world leaders this could be the most transformative and beneficial technology humanity has yet invented. Then came the shock. On Friday, November 17, 2023, the board fired Sam. The announcement said he was not consistently candid with communications. Reports said he claimed safety approvals that did not exist, feuded with a board member over a paper favoring Anthropic, and played board members against each other. Others pointed to side projects like a massive chip effort and WorldCoin, and worries he would use OpenAI tech for his own empire. Another theory said Ilya saw something that alarmed him. Whatever the reason, Sam was out. The backlash was immediate. Greg Brockman quit in solidarity. Employees revolted. A letter blasted the board and a petition pledged to leave unless Sam and Greg returned. Nearly all 800 staff signed. A planned employee share sale hung in the balance, and Microsoft offered to hire Sam, Greg, and anyone who walked. Over the weekend, Ilya flipped, said he regretted his role, and called to reunite the company. The board lost leverage. Negotiations flipped the power dynamic. By Tuesday, the board members who ousted Sam were out. Sam was back as CEO. Greg returned. The team threw a party and posted, "We are so back." Ilya lost his board seat and left OpenAI 6 months later. Meanwhile, ChatGPT voice mode drew comparisons to the film Her. People started using the AI as a friend, assistant, even a therapist. Sam reached out to Scarlett Johansson to voice the model. She declined. OpenAI released a voice that sounded like her anyway, and she sued. Her friends and family thought it was her. Sam denied it was based on her, but he tweeted the word her right after the launch. The future is racing toward everyone. Creative jobs are getting hit first, not last. Search is being reshaped as people ask ChatGPT instead of typing into Google. Then there is the bigger shift. Eye blending with virtual reality. Imagine worlds indistinguishable from real life that generate whatever you want on demand. If that future is coming fast, here is the question that matters. When intelligence becomes a product anyone can wield, who do you trust to hold the power?